אוקיי, שעה טובה. לא נורא, זה זיכוי הרבים. אוקיי. Good evening, dear women. Rosh Chodesh Tov, בשורות טובות, בעזרת השם. I would like to wish all of us that יגיע משיח צדקנו במהרה בימינו, אמן. יגיע מבשר אליהו הנביא, אליהו תשבי, אליהו גלעדי, במהרה בימינו משיח בן דוד, אליהו הנביא זכור לטוב. אמן בעזרת השם. I would like to do three things with you, בעזרת השם tonight. First of all, we're going to speak about Sfirat HaOmer. Then we are going to speak about Rosh Chodesh Iyar. I will tell you how to pray to daven tomorrow morning in Musaf of Shacharit. You will tell your husbands and your sons what to say, the name of God. And then we are going to speak about the two portions of the week that we are going to have on Shabbat. I hope we will have time to... One thing I would like to speak about this portion of the week, and then remind me the question that you asked, okay? When we'll speak about Tazria Metzora. We are going to study about Tazria Metzora. It's especially about leprosy, the two portions, and the leprosy is because slandering, Lashon Hara, because of our tongue. So we are going to speak about it, Bli Neder, when we come over here, but I would like to start with the counting of the Omer. The counting of the Omer is a law that the men have to do that. It's from the Torah, and it says, in Chumash Vayikra it says, והבאתם את עומר ראשית קצירכם אל הכהן וסברתם לכם ממחרת השבת 7 שבתות. Which means God says, after the first day of Pesach, which means on Tetzain of Nisan, and this is the 60th of Nisan, we start counting the Omer. We count, Brucha Haba, 7 weeks until Shavuot. 7 weeks means 7 multiplied by 7 is 49 days. The 50th day is Shavuot. We count 7 weeks. Each week is 7 days. And then the 50th day is Shavuot. Shavuot is the day that the children of Israel received the Torah on Ma'amad Har Sinai. So we have to count. It's a must from the Torah. It's a law from the Torah Deoraita. We have to count it. The men have to count it. But I would like to tell you that today in our generation, it's very important, even if a woman can do that, she should do that. And why she should do that? Because in order to help our men, the men that are not counting, so Kol Yisrael Arevin zen lazeh. So if we do a mitzvah, Bezrat Hashem, we conclude all of the children of Israel in that mitzvah. We merit and they merit from it. So it's very important that you'll see in the book, in the Siddur, there are 2 ways of counting. One way of counting is, for example, if it was the 8th day of the Omer, okay? The 8th day that we are counting. One way says, Ayom Yom Shmini LaOmer, which means today is the 8th day of the Omer. But then you'll see, and you count it, you say it again, but you say, Hayom Shavua Echad LaOmer V'Yom Echad, which means today it's 1 week for the Omer and 1 day. So isn't that weird? We count it twice? Because we know the calculation. We can do this as a simple calculation. We know 8 days is 1 week and 1 day. So we know that. Why do we count it twice? Why do this? We say the counting twice. Look how it's important. Because in the Torah it's written like this. It's written in Chumash Vayikra, Tisperu 50 yom, count 50 days. And then Bechumash Dvarim, it's written, Shiv'a Shavuot Tispor Lach, which means 7 weeks you have to count. Because of that, we count. We know that Hashem wanted us to count in numbers, and then Hashem wanted us to count in weeks. And why do we do that? What's so important in the number 7? First of all, 7, is Shabbat, is holy. 7, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God created the world in 6 days. On the 7th day, He rested. 7 is a lot of things. We're going to speak about them. We're going to go through each one, most of them at least. We're going to go through them. You will ask me, what is HaOmer? So HaOmer, you know that after Pesach, when Pesach comes, I already told you that on Pesach it's written, בפסח נידון העולם על התבואה, במסכת ראש השנה, which means on Pesach all the grain flourished, everything is ready, just to cut it. So what do we do? The first thing that flourishes, that grew, is the barley. So this is the first grain that we take. Usually what happened when Bet HaMikdash was built, they used to go to the cities of Judea, Yehuda, out of the city of Jerusalem, and they would cut the barley, and then they will prepare the barley that it will become solet. I forgot how you say solet. You know what solet is?
Farina.
Maybe farina. Solet, Sigi. Farina, solet. So they made it solet, and it had to be very clean. And this they came and they waved it on the mizbeach, on the altar. They waved it. Why? Because until the second day of Pesach, after the first day of Pesach, you are not allowed to eat the new grains. And it's true for today too, even though we don't have Bet HaMikdash. We don't know that because we go to the store and buy it. So we don't know what the farmers do. But I would like to tell you that only from Tetzain today, after Tetzain Benisan, after the 60th of Nisan, we are allowed to eat from the new grain. Okay? Now, 60th, Tetzain Benisan. Nisan, yes. 16, Ken, מה אמרתי? Oh, sorry, 16 of Nisan. Let me tell you, dear women, listen, will ask me, why did they wave the grain, the barley over there in Bet HaMikdash? Well, it says that there was a group of people that were called Tzadokim. You know what they were, Tzadokim? Tzadokim are people, Epikorsim, are people that do not believe in the oral Torah. And they said, those people said, when God says, Mimacharat HaShabbat, it means that it's after Shabbat of Pesach, Chol HaMoed Pesach, Shabbat shel Chol HaMoed Pesach. So only on Sunday you're allowed to do the Tnufa shel HaOmer, and then to eat from the new grains. But it wasn't true, because when God says Mecharat Shabbat, it means from Shabbat. Shabbaton is Pesach, the first day of Pesach. So they wanted all the tzaddokim to see that this was not true. So they used to do a big celebration to call everyone and to wave the grains so everybody will know. It says Berov Am Adrat Melech, like a party for a king they used to do. A big celebration. So everybody will know that the theory of the tzaddokim, there were Jewish people that did not believe in the oral Torah. We cannot. The oral Torah and the written Torah are one. You understand that? You remember that I told you that God, when He gave the Torah, the written Torah, to the children of Israel, He took the mountain and He forced them. He put the mountain above them. And He said, if you won't accept my Torah, you're going to die. This is your death. This is the place that you're going to die. But if you will, that's good. So you remember that I told you that the question is, why did He do that? Because they said already that they're going to accept His Torah. But that was only for the written Torah. The oral Torah, the children of Israel did not want to accept that then. So that's why, listen very carefully, they said after that, Naaseh v'nishma, we are going to do the written Torah, v'nishma, we're going to listen to the oral Torah. Do you understand? So that's why they wanted to show the tzaddokim that it has to be there. Both of them are one, because Hashem gave the oral Torah only to the children of Israel, not to the goyim. Because when He went to the other nations, He offered them the written Torah, not the oral Torah. Only to the look how we are unique. God loves us. We are the only ones that God gave us the written Torah. No one else. So now that you know what we do with that, I would like to continue and give you...
Is a sword to not to eat barley? How? The new one? How long?
No, you're allowed to eat. Yeah, whatever you eat until Tetzain Benisan is Yashan, is the old. Right. It's not the new grain. You understand? After Tetzain Benisan, it's all the new grain.
From today, you say? From today?
No, Tetzain Benisan was the second day of Pesach. Yes.
For how long?
Until next year. It's allowed. זה חדש. אסור בחדש ומותר בחדש. You are not allowed to eat the new grain until Tetzain Benisan. Then you do the Anafat HaOmer, the waving of the grain, on the altar in Beit HaMikdash, in Beit HaMikdash, and then you're allowed to use it. But today we don't see that, because we go, it's obvious for us, we go to the store and we buy what we need. So we don't even know that. But now you know that. So let's continue.
But the going to the
Sorry?
I mean, when we buy the regular flour, mostly the goyim prepare it.
But everything that we eat is kosher.
But it's kosher, or you, but is it Kemach Yashan or...
Of course, no, of course you'll know that we have rabbis that yesh mashgichim. We have mashgichim. We do not eat anything that mashgichim don't check, even if goyim are doing that. You understand? כן. לא רשום, אבל OU זה אחד מההכשרים. It's one of the big הכשers. You know what it reminds me? I have to tell you, I didn't think of telling this story here.
Sorry, which השגחה is stronger, OU or OK?
אז I can't, אני חושבת, I don't know. They are the same, I think.
הכי טוב אם את קונה עם השגחה של הבנות. אוקיי, זה טוב.
They are good השגחות. I would like to continue. Dear women, let's continue. First thing, I would like to tell you, when you count the HaOmer, when you count the HaOmer, you have a blessing. Baruch Atah Hashem. Before that, you bless. So let's say someone started counting the HaOmer, and one day he forgot counting the HaOmer. At night, he forgot to count the HaOmer. You count it, you know, after the davening of Arvit. It's not before that. It has to be stars. That's why on Shavuot, to say Arvit, they are waiting until the stars go out. They can see the stars. Otherwise, there won't be a full count of the 50th day. 50th day is Shavuot. So they count it after Arvit. Usually they say Arvit, and before Alenu Leshabech, they say the counting of the HaOmer. What happens if one night you forgot to count? You can count the second day without a blessing, and then the next night you can count with a blessing. But if you forgot a whole day, you are not allowed to say the blessing before the count. You can say Hayom Yom Shlishi LaOmer, but you are not allowed to say Baruch Atah Hashem. You understand? That's the difference. Why? If you no, the whole day is from then on. Why? Because the retzifut, the continuation is very important. That every day you'll give a blessing. I'll explain why, because then you will understand. We do that for 49 days. And the 50th day is Shavuot, Erev Shavuot. I would like to tell you why 49 days.
You don't say the bracha, right?
Who?
Women don't say the bracha.
Women.
The counting, but we're not told we say the bracha.
You don't say the bracha loud. But I would like to tell you something. 49 days are for over the 49 gates of impurity that the children of Israel were in Egypt. Because you know, when the children of Israel went out of Egypt, God could have given them the Torah immediately. Why did He wait 49 days? Why did He give them on the 50th day, not on the first day, or on the second, or on the first week? But God said they are in 59 gates of impurity. 49 gates of impurity. Every day was against one gate of impurity. We are also in Galut Mitzrayim, Sharei Tumah, ken. We are also in the exile of Egypt today, because we have also an exile of knowledge. We are lacking knowledge, and we have exile of dibur, of speech. So we need also to fix ourselves. These 49 days is in order to fix ourselves, to clear our soul and body, to purify them in order to get the Torah on the 50th day. Also today, it's like we are receiving the Torah every time, every year again and again, like we were standing on Ma'amad Har Sinai. Every day of that is in order to clean our souls from all of the sins that we did. I would like to continue and tell you that every day, every week first we'll start. Every week is against one of the names of God for one of the days. For example, Ana bekoach dulat yeminecha tatir tzura is one of the name of God for Sunday. And then we have Kabel rinatamecha sagvenu tarenu nora is the name of God for Monday. This is Aleph. And this is Monday. And then we have Nagibor dorshei chutcha kevavat shamrem. This is Tuesday. And I will give you the translation also. Those letters are part of the name of God. You know, all of the letters in the Torah are the name of God. Now you'll say, ask me how come. So I'll give you an example. Vedibart bam. You'll tell me, but Bam, and I'll tell you, Bam is the name of God. And you'll say, how come? Bet Mem? You'll ask me, how come Bet Mem is the name of God? Look. What are the letters before, what is the letter before Bet? Aleph. What is the letter before Mem? Lamed. What is the name? Yefeh. So you just need to know, you understand? I'm just giving you a small example. All of what is written in, listen very carefully, if it was written by order, all the Torah was written by order, we could have made Tchiyat HaMetim ourselves, just by reading from it. That's why it's not written by order. We could have made miracles. אם היה כתוב, התורה כתובה לפי הסדר. היא לא כתובה לפי הסדר של המאורעות. It's not written by order of what happened, chronological order. If it was have been written like that, by just reading from it, we could have made miracles.
Which order? The Aleph-Bet order or the
No, the story order, chronological order.
stories go on, they're in order. Aleph,
No, it's not in order. Nothing. It's not in order. And אין מוקדם ומאוחר בתורה. There's no mukdam v'muchar b'Torah, which means it's not in order. The Kabbalah says it's not in order. It's everything. Bereshit, השישה ימים נראים כאילו לפי הסדר, אבל תראי שזה חוזר על עצמו. It repeats itself. So it's not written in a way that we can read it and produce miracles. But tzaddikim do know. For example, this is a small example. You wouldn't think that Bam. And what is Bam? You know? ודיברת Bam. בשבתך, you know, we say that in, wait, and ודיברת bam, which means you're going to speak about them. מה זה bam? Bet is the written Torah, Bereshit, ומם is the oral Torah, ממתי. ממתי קוראים שמה של ערבית? That's the first Mishnah. You see, but there are so many secrets in everything that you don't know it. We need to open our eyes, our spiritual eyes.
not only physical life, but spiritual knowledge.
You said that Bam is Shem Hashem because of previous letter and previous letter.
Okay.
Can you say also that Gan is Shem Hashem because of previous and previous?
אז תקשיבי, בדיוק, בשביל זה צריך הערה של צדיק, שהוא רואה את זה, לנו אין את זה, אבל הם רואים את זה, לכן יש ספרים יותר עמוקים, שאנחנו לא מכירים אותם ולא יודעים אותם, שאת לא יכולה לגעת בהם.
אבל נראה לי שיש היגיון במה שאמרתי.
לא, יש היגיון, אבל יש בזה, אני לא יכולה להסביר לך את זה עכשיו, כי זה שיעור שלם רק על זה, בלי נדר. ממתי קוראים שמה של ערבית? That's how the Mishnah starts. ממתי קוראים שמה של ערבית? When are you going to start reading ערבית? davening ערבית. Saying שמה של ערבית. Okay, yeah, let's continue.
I just wanted, you said Bam means the previous and after is El, but what about Bam? Bam
Yes.
Bam itself, we have to take the previous...
You say that in Shema Israel. Bam itself is say that ודיברת bam.
I know, but how should we know that?
You do not know that. But what you need to know is to know the mitzvot and the good deeds that you need to do, that's you should do. And then if you studied more and you know more than that, and you can understand more than that, that's a big zchut, a big merit. Do you understand? Because then you're doing what God wanted you to do. God wanted us to analyze the Torah, to study from the Torah through the pardes, through the whole orchard. That's what He wanted us to do. So everybody does it on his level, because He didn't create, you see, all of my fingers are not even. He did not create us even. Each one comes over here to do a fixing. And each has a midah, a measure that he can study and learn. That's his measure. That's where he can. If you came over here, this is your measure. You see, you didn't come, you came because this is your measure, because from God wanted you to come. He told you, please go to the Shur Torah, don't forget, you have to go because you need to listen, you need to know. So let's continue. So I told you that we have a name of God, and we'll take the first letter of each word. You'll see that 6 words in each sentence over here. You see that? 6 words in each sentence. So we take the first letter of each word, and those are the first letters. You'll see that we have 6 words multiplied by 7 days. We have 42 42 names of God, each one of them. Listen. Now they are very powerful, spiritually powerful, even if you do not understand. They are very spiritually powerful. It's very important. Ana Bekoach is a very, 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 very spiritual thing.
So what time of the day we have to read?
Wait. Now, how do we fix the names of God? Why? I would like to explain how it's connected to Sfirat HaOmer, the counting of the Omer. How do we fix the name of God? So if you will look at the counting of the Omer, each day you will see one word out of the names of God over here. You'll see it if you'll do that. You'll see each one of them has one, every day one of the words. And we are fixing that word. And then the first day, for example, Tetzayin ben Nisan, the 16th of Nisan, we are fixing Ana. And then on the 17th, we are fixing Bekoach, once we are counting and concentrating on the word. We're looking at the word. And then on the third day, we are fixing Dulat. And then you'll see when we finish the 6 days, the 7th day will be the whole sentence. You'll see, Ana bekoach dulati minecha tatir tzrucha. We fixed the whole sentence, the whole 6 names of God. And then the next week, the same thing happens. We go to the second day. This is a big thing. Kabel rinat amecha sagvenu tarenu noa. Rashei tevot is kra satan. Tear the evil one. That's what it says. The third day we do, it's the third week. It's against the third week. Na gibor dorshei yechutcha kevavat shamrem. Those are the letters over here, of the first letters of each word.
What is it? Neged what?
Yakash. Then you have Barchem Taharem Rachmei Tzidkadecha Tamid Gamlem. And you see, this is the 4th week against Wednesday. And then you have...
the same time.
Sorry?
Can you say this?
Can. I wasn't sure how. Okay. Ana bekoach gdulati minecha tatir tzura. Listen, I'll explain it to you. I'll give the translation. We beg you with the strength of your right hand's greatness, untie the bundled sins. Untie our bundled sins. Kabel rinatamecha sagvenu tarenu nora. Accept the prayer of your nation. Strengthen us. Purify us, O awesome one. Tarenu nora. Na gibor dorshei yechutcha kevavat shamrem means, please, O strong man, those who foster your oneness, guard them like the pupil of an eye, kevavat ayin, like your eye. Then we say, Barchem tarem rachmei tzidkatecha tamid gamlem. Well, it's bless them, purify them, show them pity. May your righteousness always recompose them. And then we have Chasin Kadosh Barov Tuvcha Nael Adatecha. A powerful, holy one, with your abundant goodness, guide your congregation. And then we had Yechid Ger, this is for Friday. Le'amcha pnei zochei kedushatach, it's for the 6th week. And it goes, one and only exalted one, turn to your nation which proclaim your holiness. Shavatenu kabel ushma tza'akatenu yodea ta'alumot. Accept our entirety and hear our cry. O holy man that knows mysterious things. Those are ta'alumot, mysterious things. Those are big words. I have to tell you, each week that we count the Omer is against one of those sentences that include the name of God inside it.
We cannot start now?
No, but you can look at it. You can look, yes, you can look. Adrabah, look at it, Bli Neder, next year. So you can see that we have all of the 7 ones. And I would like to continue and tell you that the number 7 is also, you remember that I told you that we have 10 counts. We have 10 counts. Those 3 counts that we have over here, Keter, Chochma, Vebina, we do not touch them. We do not sin with them. Where do we sin? From here, from the throat downwards. We have counts. We have chesed, righteousness, gvura, justice, judgment. And then we have tiferet, which is in the area of the belly. And then we have yesod, which is the intimate parts of the human being. And then we have netzach, hod, both legs. And then we have malchut. Okay, kingdom. It's the Malchut is our feet themselves. So I would like to tell you, every week against those 7 parts of counting, we fix them every week. If you look at the counting, you'll see. I'll write it on the board so you'll see how it's written.
I have a question. You said that it's 6 times 7 because it's 6 words for 7 days of the week. It's 42. Where
Yes.
does the other 7 come from?
Each sentence at the end of each sentence at the end of the counting every week, you use the whole sentence.
The whole sentence.
It's divided every word for 1 day, and then when you finish the whole sentence, you say the whole sentence. Okay? So look over here. We have Chesed, Gvura. I would like to tell this so you will know, you'll understand what you're doing when you do the counting of the Omer. We have Tiferet, Yesod, Netzach, Hod, and then you have Malchut. You remember that Avraham Avinu worked Hashem with a measure. בדיוק אותו דבר, כן, רק שם יש את 10 ספירות, פה זה רק 7. יישר כוח. So you see over here that Avraham Avinu worshipped God, worked God with a measure of chesed, a lot of kindness, you remember? And Yitzchak was a lot of judgment. You remember that? So each one of us, for example, Netzach is the measure that Moshe Rabbeinu worked Hashem. And Hod is the measure that Aaron worked Hashem. And Yesod is the measure that Yosef worked Hashem. And Tiferet is the measure that Yaakov worked Hashem. So it's divided. רגע, אבל אני רוצה להספיק היום דברים. I'm just giving you a glance to see deeper into to explain to you. So what do you see in the Siddur? It's very important because when you look, you won't understand. You'll see that when you'll see the counting, on the right side, you'll see, on the right side of the counting, there will be, נגיד, Ana, Bekoach, Gdulat Yeminecha Tatir Tzura. And on the left side, you'll see, for example, Chesed Shebechesed. So I said, what's that? So this is what it is. Every one of these measures, of these characteristics, has also chesed. For example, chesed has chesed inside and then gvura inside, each one of those measures. And we fix each one of them every day. For example, the first day is chesed shebechesed. The second day is gvura shebechesed. The third day is tiferet shebechesed. Then yesod shebechesed. Then netzach shebechesed. Then hod shebechesed. Then malchut shebechesed. And then we go to the second measure. Chesed shebagvura. You understand? And then gvura shebagvura. This is how we fix the measure. It's beautiful. You just need, I know you won't understand everything deeply, but bli neder, Bezrat Hashem, we have more lessons, you will understand. I'm just giving you a glance.
מה זה בעברית? אנחנו מתקנים
את החסד ואת הגבורה, את המידות. זה מידות. זה מידות שבהם עבדו את הקדוש ברוך הוא, כולנו עובדים. All of them, all of them. For example, kindness. You'll see people that worship Hashem, they have a lot of kindness. They give everything they have. They don't know how to say no to people. This is a measure of kindness that they have. This is the measure that they're working Hashem. But then you'll see people that are very strong and determined, and they're very tough, and they have judgment in them. This is a measure of judgment. So each and every one of us worships Hashem in a different way. You understand? Ken.
Hod.
Hod? Hod is the measure that Aaron HaKohen worked.
In English,
How you translate it? Okay, Hod is like glory. That's Hod. Glory. Kohen HaGadol היה. The high priest. Okay. מה? לא. כתר זה הגבוה, יש כתר, חוכמה, בינה, ואז זה מתחיל. חסד וגבורה, זה מתחיל לרדת. אוקיי? הוד זה הירך. זה הרגל השנייה, רגל שמאל. זה הצד השמאלי. תפארת. זה התפארת, כן. תפארת זה the part of the stomach. תפארת. כן, splendor. Splendor, כן, זה תפארת. אבל it's not the real translation. You understand? It's not really. It symbolizes, אבל לא ממש. זה לא ממש התיאור. Let's continue, yes.
Usually you say Ana Bakoach after Kriyat Shema, right? So how do you say? You say the whole paragraph, or you just say for that day?
I didn't understand the question.
Like,
After קריאת שמע שעל המיטה את שואלת? Okay.
do you say the whole paragraph? Or
No, you say after קריאת שמע, you say אנא בכוח, and then you say the sentence that is for the next day, that is the coming day. For example, to...
the previous day before it or no?
No, you're speaking about the counting or קריאת שמע? אז מה שאת עושה, את אומרת, חייבים להתחיל באנה בכוח, ואז את הולכת לדוגמה, מחר זה כבר יום חמישי. You start with אנה בכוח always. אנה בכוח גדולת ימינך תתיר צרורה. Then, for example, tomorrow it's already night, so it's considered like it's already Thursday for us. Then you take the sentence of Thursday, okay? חסין קדוש ברוב טובך נאל עדתך, you say that 3 times. Yes, you have to say אנה בכוח, and then you say that sentence.
Not this one, I have another consider. It says say the following paragraph, and then say the day. So I figured, do you say the whole thing, or do you just say...
You say Ana Bekoach, and then you say that sentence for the day 3 times. Okay? Now, dear women, let's continue. Another thing. Look how beautiful it is. I would like to tell you, you remember that by miracles, God created the world. I have a lot of things to say today, so you have to be quiet and ask questions at the end of the lesson, because then I won't have time to do everything that at least 10% of it that I prepared. We also say, if you look carefully in the Siddur, in the counting, we also say and fix the Tehillim number 67, the Psalm of King David 67, that is like the menorah. You see the menorah? We say that, and you will ask me why. You will see that without the opening of the Tehillim is Lamnatzeach ben Ginot Mizmor Shir. We don't say that. We start with Elokim Yechanenu Bivarchenu. Why? Because from then till the end you have 49 words. Count them, you'll see. 49 words. And you will ask me, why do we say that? Why do we fix this mizmor? We have so many mizmorim, 150 mizmorim, 150 psalms. Why do we use only this psalm? Look how beautiful it is. Because, dear women, look at this psalm. This psalm, when you say that, you have to concentrate like you are building the menorah. Like you're lighting the menorah. What is so special about the menorah? The special thing about the menorah is that you see this line over here, this in the middle. You have only seven lines over here. Okay, we start to read from the left side to the right, which is also a question mark. Why? It's better to read from the right to the left. Why? And usually you write Hebrew all the time from right to left. Why do we read from left to right? Because we want the judgments to become kindness. That's why we start from left. We say to God, God, we know that you're judging us because we have a lot of sins. But please, God, go a little, go to the right side, Bezrat Hashem. That's why we start from the left side. But look how beautiful it is. The middle line is against the written Torah. The middle line is the written Torah. All the arms around it that go 3 from this side and 3 from the other side is the 6 Sidrei Mishnah, all the oral Torah. We have 6 Sidrei Mishnah, we have 6 books of Mishnah. And this is the 6. You see 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 3 from each side. Do you understand? So we are fixing it. And if you look very carefully, the menorah is just like us. We are built, the menorah we have in our body. How do we have it? This is the middle line. You see the middle line? And everything that comes out of my body is one of the Mishnah. So look, I have ears that come out of my body, I have hands, and I have legs. If you'll put them up, we have Shisha Mesedrei Mishnah. It's the menorah. Do you see the menorah? In your imagination, do you see that? It's the menorah. It's inside of each and every one of us. I would like to tell you, Nashim Yekarot, I hope you...
The number of days. This time we need to read every day?
No, this is what you fix in the counting of the HaOmer. That's what I'm telling you. That the chapter 67, the Psalm 67 in Tehillim, that is just like the menorah, in order that we will fix all the things that we didn't study in the written Torah and in the oral Torah. That's what we are doing. We want to prepare ourselves to receive the Torah on Shavuot. Concentrate, you understand? And now, in Parashat Tazria Metzora, there are 7 impurities that we see there. You will see that there are 7 impurities. The impurities are Nida, Zavin, Yoledet, Nida, Zavin, Yoledet, Tumat Hamet, Hamet, I write Hamet, Tumat Hamet, Nig'ei Bait, Guf, ואדם, בגד, סליחה. בגד וגוף. You'll see if you'll count them, those are 7 impurities that they must have 7 yemei limud, 7 days that we have to be far from other people, or we have to keep ourselves from other people. Well, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'll explain it. Nida is when a woman has her period. So she has 7 days of purity. Look, 7 days. This is the 7 days that we also have against the 7 weeks. So this is for the first week. We have Nida, 7 days, purity. Then we have Zavin. It's one of the sicknesses that the body takes out fluids from it. So this person has to go out of the Machaneh, of the camp of Israel. And then against for 7 days. Then a woman that gives birth, she's also has to go in purity. Then a dead person, dead person again, 7 days. Then we have 3 things: Nig'ei Abayit, Negeim Bait, Beged Veguf, which means 3 inflections to the house, the clothes, and the body. Those are inflections that come on a person because of Lashon Hara, because of slandering. This is in Parashat Tazria Metzora. So you see that against each one of them is one of the weeks. We have 7 impurities that we have to fix. For each one of them you have to purify yourself for 7 days. So 7 multiplied by 7 is again 49. Look how beautiful it is. I'm just giving you a glance to see what is the counting of the Omer. So you have to understand how serious it is. It's so serious in order that we will help ourselves cure ourselves from all of the sins that we have upon us. Why? Because the sins are not on our body. For example, if a person slanders today another person, and you know that he always speaks about people, and you'll say, well, the Torah says that he's going to have leprosy, but I don't see any leprosy on him. So what's going on here? So I'll explain it in a few minutes. I will come there. But he does have leprosy. He doesn't have it on his body because he doesn't have the merit to have it on his body. Listen very carefully, dear women. When the Torah was written, the people were very righteous. So God gave them a hint. They all deserve the next world, the world to come. It's not like us that we're in a big question mark if we deserve or don't deserve. And if we go to hell or won't go to hell. They were very righteous. So when they did a sin, their soul was so righteous, their body took out all the sins. It's like, when a person is very stressed in our days, what happens? His immune system starts to weaken. Okay? So the soul couldn't hold the sin inside. So it went outside to the body as leprosy. And this was a big zchut, a big merit, because this means that a person can fix himself. He knows what the problem is. For example, Miriam, the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu, she had leprosy. 7 days she was sitting outside the camp of Israel.
What about if someone sees it for a few minutes only?
Says what?
No, Neshama leaves you and then
comes back?
Comes back.
No, Kadosh Baruch Hu gave you another chance. That's a she'elah. It's a big thing. If you got another chance, it's not so, it's not so simple. Now listen, because they had the merit, that was a zchut to have leprosy. It was a zchut. If you did something wrong, immediately God showed you that you did something wrong. In our generation, we do not see that. What we see is very hard. What we see is that wicked people, it seems that they have a lot of fun in this world. And the righteous people, it seems that they have very hard and rushed time in this world. But listen, dear women, it's not what we see is not really what we see. Because, who is the owner of all the orchard? Hashem. All this vineyard is Hashem's vineyard. It's like a person who comes on Shabbat to a shul, and then he sees the Chazan calls different people from different places, from the east and from the west, from the shul, calls them to come to the Torah. And he says, wow, there's not any order over here. What's going on? I'm used to it in my shul. We have order. So when Shabbat goes out, he goes to the Chazan and he says, tell me please, how did you pick people from different places instead of picking them by order? He says, excuse me, you came to this shul only once. One Shabbat you were a guest over here. But I am the owner of this shul. I already know this shul. So I know that there's an order to what I'm doing here. That's exactly what God says. He is the owner of the vineyard. He knows exactly what we need. Everything that we get in this world is exactly what we need in order to fix ourselves, to go to heaven and to have the next world and to sit next to God. He wants us just to clean our souls, because the leprosy that we cannot see today on the body, God forbid, is on our soul. There's leprosy of the soul, which means Sfirat. There's leprosy on the soul, and it means that the soul, instead of being shiny, and all the light will go out of the soul, and you'll see through the body that the light. Why do we call Rabbi Meir Baal Hanes Rabbi Meir? Because he was shining. Meir milshon light. His soul was shining throughout his body, which means he was so righteous. That's what we need to do with ourselves. We came to fix. We shouldn't feel that we are important and strong in this world because we live for a certain time. Our soul doesn't. Our soul is not limited in time and place. It doesn't have any limitation, but the body does. So we need to remember that we came in order to fix. Don't have any pride, because a person who has pride and thinks, I'm very important in the community, everybody should only respect me and be nice to me. And if somebody is not nice to me, oh, wow, what will happen to him? You shouldn't do that, God forbid, because listen very carefully. He who has pride, it says in Masechet Avodah Zarah, is like worshipping idols. God says, I can be with that person. If he has pride, he forgot me. Because he thinks that my strength made me where I am right now. You'll hear people that say, well, I work very hard, that's why I have money. So let the other people work very hard, they will have money. God gives you the money. You can work very hard. You'll hear people say that they're working so hard and they don't have parnasah, they don't have income. They don't have any. God gives the money. He decides about it. And if he gives someone plenty and someone less, it's because that he wants to give that experience, that nisayon, to that person that has plenty, how he will open his hands with the money that is not his. He's testing the people. Do you understand? It's all a big test in this world. That's it. It's one big test from Adam HaRishon. If Adam HaRishon the first man wouldn't have sinned, we would have been in paradise today. We wouldn't die. We'll have
upsets you a few times. What's the cheshbon with that?
God does the cheshbon. You know, it's a big merit. If somebody upsets you and you did not answer, you have a big merit up there. Listen because you conquered Yetzer Hara, the bad spirit. It's a big merit. תדעו לכם, dear women, listen, אין בריאה נוקפת אצבעה למטה אם לא הכריזו עליה למעלה. A person won't come to you if God didn't say up there, the angels didn't say that he has to come to you and to say A, B, C to you. It's your test to see how you will react. Now there's a good fixing and there's a bad fixing. The one who, God forbid, slandered you or spoke or made you ashamed near other people, God forbid, he made a bad fixing for himself. Now he has leprosy on his soul. He doesn't know that. But every night the soul goes out of the body, because when we sleep, it's 1/60th of death. So the soul goes up there, up to heaven, and she gives din v'cheshbon. And an angel writes everything that she did that day. If a soul has, because slandering, lashon hara, is a very easy thing to do. Because what happens, you don't have to pay money for it. And you know, it's word that comes out, you say, what does it matter if I'll say a few things about that person? Nobody hears that. I'm speaking with my friend, nobody knows that, but listen, it's a big, big sin. Because in order to fix that sin, you have to go to the person that you spoke about him and to say, you know, I slandered you and I'm asking for your forgiveness. And people will not do that. People will be embarrassed to do that. And if you spoke about a group of people, you have to go to all that group of people and speak and ask forgiveness from them. That's why slandering is one of the harshest things, because if a person kills a person, his sin is less than one who slanders a person. And I'll explain to you why. That person who killed the person took one soul, okay? But the person, listen, he took only his body from this world. But the soul has all of the merit and the merit of that who did bad to him. But the one who slandered took 3 souls. The one who spoke, the one who listened, and the one that was spoken about. Those are 3 souls. That person did not take the body of the person, but what he did, he took the soul. He took the next world from the soul that heard him and from the other one that he spoke about him. Because what happens? You have the akduma. Prejudice. You become prejudiced. Even if you don't really know that person. He seems very nice, but I heard that he's ABC. So maybe if that person told me that about him, maybe it's true. So then you won't look at him in the same way. Yes, there's no smoke without fire. Then that person is like Din Karet he has in this world, God forbid. And all because of what we said. For example, I'll give you a story. The story is about, there's a story about a big rabbi. And one of the Hasidim came to him, and they were sitting, it was after Shacharit, they were sitting in his house, so he wanted milk. There were 2 bottles of milk with different kashrut on them. So the rabbi took the first one, and he poured to his glass, and then he put it back, and he took the second one. So the Hasids looked at what he did, and he said, wow, it means that the second kashrut is a special kashrut. So he who wants, the ones that would be more tough with the kashrut should drink only from that kashrut. So what happened? He told his friends, and everybody stopped buying that milk with that kashrut, only the other one. Meanwhile, that person, got out of business. Because they stop, it goes from ear to ear. It's like a broken phone. Everybody tells everybody. And he didn't understand what happened. Then he heard that person that owned that factory, he heard that it's because of that certain rabbi. So he went to the rabbi and said, dear rabbi, please, kvodo, tell me. He says, why didn't you want my kashrut? Everything is legal, everything is good, everything is kosher. I have all of this. You know that. He says, I don't know what you're talking about, the rabbi said. What are you talking about? He says, because of you, I don't have the factory anymore. Nobody bought my milk because of you. He says, but I didn't say anything about your kashrut. Your milk is excellent. Look, he opens his refrigerator and he says, I have your milk. So I don't understand why you're coming to me. So the rabbi sat down and thought, and then he remembered that Hasid. And he told that person, and he said, listen, you know why I took from the other kashrut? Because your bottle of milk was almost empty. So I needed more milk. So I opened the other one. Only because of that. Look what happens when a person slanders, and it's like saying the truth. What did he say, the Hasid? He said the truth. He saw the rabbi taking the bottle and then taking the other bottle and pouring for himself. But he didn't know that the first bottle did not have more milk inside. So he took the second one. But even if you think that you are telling the truth, it's slandering. Look what happened to, because you see part of the picture. We do not see the whole picture. So sometimes we judge things by the parts that we see from it. And sometimes it's very wrong. It's not true at all. And we cause other people to suffer, and our sins become very big. And our soul is like covered with leprosy. I will tell you another thing. There's a story about Rabbi Anakin. Ma?
Yeah. Is it okay to avoid such a person who slanders constantly, or no?
Better to stay away.
It's better
to stay away.
Listen very carefully. A person who comes to you and slanders someone, comes and slanders someone in front of you, be sure that when he goes out of your house, he's slandering you too. Be sure. It's 100% sure. Be sure that a person who comes and speaks to other people in front of you, when he goes out of your house, be sure it's like a law. Yeah. Stay away. Yes, of course. It's better to stay away. Not to stay close to them. I would like to say about we already went a little bit to Tazria Metzora, but I would like to return to the counting of the HaOmer. We have customs of mourning during the counting of the HaOmer. We usually don't have chatunot, we don't have weddings, we don't have smachot parties on those days. We don't cut our hair. The boys do not cut their hair, they do not shave. So those are customs of mourning. Why? We mourn because the Mered Bar Kokhba, you remember that Bar Kokhba tried to fight against the Romans. They succeeded for a while, but then the Romans again came and overcome them. And that's part of it. But the second thing is, we're going to speak about it, but Bli Neder on Yudchet Iyar. We're going to speak about Lag BaOmer, then I'll speak about it. We have also the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva that passed away during those days. The Sfaradic people say that they passed away until Lag BaOmer, and the Ashkenazi people say until Aleph B'Sivan, until Rosh Chodesh Sivan. So the Sfaradic people stop the mourning part after Lag BaOmer and shaving and cutting their hair, and Ashkenazi after Aleph B'Sivan. I would like to tell you, why did the students, 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva passed away? Why did they pass away? You know who was the student of Rabbi Akiva? You know? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Do you know what kind of students Rabbi Akiva had?
Big tzaddikim.
Big tzaddikim. How come 24,000 passed away with a big illness, a big magefa? So it says because they did not respect each other. And the question is, why did they not respect each other? They were so holy that they saw what kind of fixing the others came to fix in this world. So because of that, it says in the Gemara that they didn't really have great respect for each other. They saw the sins that each one did. So look how holy they were. So it says, Derech Eretz Kadma La Torah, which means it's very important that we have courtesies before the Torah. We need to know how to react to each other. We need to have unconditional love to each other. We will do to others what we want others to do to us. Do you understand? This is unconditional love. Every week, now from Parashat Shmini, we read every week on Shabbat. You can do it also during the week, but if you sit as a group of women, read the chapters of Perkei Avot. Why? Because everything is about moral. Until Shavuot, you'll finish all of it. So that's what we do. From Shmini, we read this last Shabbat, we read the first chapter of Perkei Avot. Yes, of course. This week is the second chapter of Perkei Avot, and we're going to, during the lessons, to do a little bit Perkei Avot together. Okay? Okay, let's continue. So don't forget to read Pirkei Avot until Shavuot, please, righteous women. Everything over there is about moral, how to behave to each other. Okay, and the most important thing that a person will have ayin tova velev tov bezrat Hashem, that he will have a good heart and a good eye, not to be jealous. I already told you once, listen, if you see something that your neighbor has or your friend has, bless him. Say, God, thank you for giving it to him. If you need it, say, God, you have so much of it, plenty you have. Please give me also one. But first, bless him. Say, thank you, God. Be happy for him. And then God, He owns everything. So just open your hands to God and say, God, you know that I need it. Please, from everything that you have, see to it that I will receive it. Yeah, but we work on it. That's why we came to this world, to work on ourselves. Bezrat Hashem. And then when you work on yourself, it says in the Midrash, just a minute, it says in the Midrash, פתחו לי חודה של מחט, ואני אפתח לכם שביל שסוסים ומרכבות עוברים דרכם, which means, open for me only me the top of the pin. Open me like that space, like the top of the pin that you want to. Slicha? Needle. Open the top of the needle, he says. God says, open only that space and I will open a path for you that carriages and horses will go through. So he will help you. You just need to want to do it really. You know that the mouth and your heart will be even.
I'm not agree with you. Why? אני אגיד לך why. אם אני מרוצה ואני מאחלת לכולם טוב.
כן.
אבל כשבאים בבית שלי, מקנים.
מקנים
פשוט לעיניים שלי.
כן, אבל זה...
למה אתם עושים ככה? זה קרובים שלי. למה יש לך הכל?
בלי עין הרע, בן פורת יוסף.
יצר הרע, יש גם יצר הרע. That's why.
Ну, мой вопрос был такой. Почему я хочу всем, чтобы было хорошо?
Слава Богу.
И радуюсь за всех. Когда ко мне приходят, мне в глаза говорят, ой, как у тебя это хорошо, и завидуют.
Потому что you cannot...
That's what I'm saying, exactly.
У меня вопрос к ней был. Она сказала, что когда ты всем желаешь добра, это возвращается. Я ей говорю.
I understand what she's saying. Thank you. I would like to tell that's exactly what I'm speaking about. So a person, if he has, you know, I need to speak about kinat jealousy. I'll speak about it. But a person who has, God forbid, jealousy, this is the beginning of everything, of all of the bad things. You cannot control it. It's His fixing in this world. The only thing that you can do is pray to God to protect you from all of this jealousy. The understanding is not that this is not a conflict between what you're saying and what I'm saying. They came also to work on their souls, to do fixing to their souls. If they don't do, it's their problem. It's also our problem. But it's their problem first. It's also all the children of Israel's problem. כן, תגידי בן פורת יוסף, תגידי כמו שעכשיו הציעה מירה, שתגידי להם בעזרת השם גם לכם יהיה. ככה להגיד. כן, יישר כוח.
That person may say certain things like that, and you don't want it to affect you. It doesn't affect you. That's what she's saying.
Now, if you have a true, Alex, dear women, listen very carefully. You know, jealous people are all around us all the time. All the time. Because this is the power of Yetzer Hara, of Satan. This is his power, the jealousy, to tell you, you know what, shh. It's not enough what God gave you. To tell you, you know, it's not enough. You need more things. What God gave you is not enough what He gave you. So you develop jealousy. For example, jealousy can be positive or can be negative. Because God created everything, one opposite the other. So how, you'll ask me, what is a positive jealousy? Kinat sofrim tarbe chokhmah. When you see, for example, a wise person, and you would like to be wise like him, this is more envy than jealousy. That which means it's kinah, well in both ways it's kinah in Hebrew. Slicha? Yes, and it's more than that. And you want to go to a higher spiritual level, to know more things, to study from this person, to try to be like him. This is a good thing, it's not a bad thing. But once jealousy comes to a point that you want to make that person... I know that you're explaining it, I know. Once jealousy comes to a point that you want to lower that person because you are so envy, you are so jealous with that person, and you want that everything will be taken from him. Listen very carefully. The person that is jealous of another person, God takes everything from this person because there's an angel. You see, so you're not contradicting me. It's the same thing because God, there's an angel next each and every one of us. He writes everything that we say. We are accountable for everything in this world. Don't kid yourselves. You know, hell is 5 stars hotel. Listen very carefully. It's a 5-star hotel hell. If you went to hell, well, it's bad, but it's still a 5-star hotel. Why I'm telling you this? Because before that, there are suffering that you would not believe that they are in this world. First of all is kaf kela, which means the soul doesn't go anywhere, but only bad angels treat her very badly. She has, for example, I'll give you, she has to take wood, to cut wood, that soul, and burn herself. And you don't understand what kind of punishments there is. I won't speak about it now, but I'm giving you a hint. And then there are 4 reincarnations in Domem, in things that do not move, and then also in plants, in animals, and then in human beings. Those are reincarnations for people who did bad things to other people. For our sins with other people, that's why we come back, period.
So she gave very, very important questions. She wants to know, these are her, let's say, close people. What is her cheshbon to receive them and continuously get that feeling that she is always upset with their jealousies, or stay away from them? What is her cheshbon?
They come to visit you, don't they?
Right. What is her cheshbon?
You invited them, they come on their own to visit?
Whatever, whichever way you have.
Okay, listen, in order to have peace, you should ignore that and just, on that moment, bless them, just like she told you. Why? Because at that moment, all of the words that they said are coming back to them immediately. And you're protected because instead of using your tongue for bad things, you use it for good things. And God protects, you don't understand. What does protect us in this world? Because, we have so many dangers in this world. How are we protected? Especially from the eyes of people. Wait.
She's very important.
It's very important. Do you know what protects us in this world? What protects us truly is our good deeds, the lessons of Torah that we hear, our prayers. That's what protects us. How do they protect us? Do you know that? So that everything, good deeds, it's the call. You know how do they protect us? Shh. You shouldn't be afraid. I always say that you shouldn't be afraid from any person. Listen very carefully. This is very important. Don't be afraid from any person. Be afraid from Hashem. Only Hashem. Why? A person cannot, listen very carefully. Shh. A person cannot hurt you. Even though if you think that he can hurt you, open the gate for him to hurt you. When your mind is said that God is going to protect me, He won't, no one can hurt you. Now listen very carefully. When you do good deeds, you daven, you go to a shul Torah, you create angels. You cannot see them in your physical eyes, but they're around you. Those angels, by the deed, for example, you came to a shul Torah, you walked. You walked and you sat down in the shul Torah. Those are actions. This creates the body of the angel. You listened, you written, you took it to your heart, you tried to do what you heard in the shul Torah. This is the soul of the angel. You created a big angel that is next to you on your right side to protect you. Also, the evil angel has a body and a soul, and he has everything in him. He's very strong. But God protects you with all of the deeds and the good things that you did. He protects you with them. Don't be afraid of anyone, just from God. Don't worry. Don't let your soul be sad, because this is one of the actions of the Satan, of Yetzer Hara. What does Satan want you to feel? That you are sad, that you are discouraged. This is exactly, you won't pray then. You won't laugh, because how do you work Hashem? When does Hashem help you the most? When you have true emunah in Him. What is the food of the soul? The food of the soul is the emunah. Because listen, you know who feels sad? Our body feels sad? No, it's not our body. Who feels if we cut ourselves? Who feels the pain? Shh. You think that the body feels the pain? It's the neshama, because when a person dies, you can cut him, you can put a pin in him, he won't feel anything. Shh. When a person dies, you can cut him, put a pin inside him, you can do whatever you want to him, he won't feel anything. You'll open his eyes, you'll put, a big light in front of him, nothing will happen. You'll shout with the microphones in his ear, he won't, but he's the same, it's the same body. The one that feels is the soul. That's why I'm telling you, the soul should be protected by all your good deeds and the things that you do. You should have trust in Hashem, not in a question mark. Maybe. No, definitely. Because when you have positive thinking and definitely knowing that God is with you and you created, because you came to Shur Torah, you know what you did? And they made me a house and I'm inside them. You already now, we read Tehillim, we blessed others, you already created the Mishkan, you created the house of God inside your body. And He's inside you, He sends angels to be with you. So you have to have the trust, the emunah, the bitachon, to be sure that God is with you. He will protect you from anything. Nothing, even if you have suffering, you will overcome them. And I am an example for that, and I know that, and I can tell you I know that from very close, from my own life. I know that 100%. It's not 99.9, but 100%. You shouldn't be afraid of anyone, only from Hashem. Only from Him, because He does the judgment, not us. Even if people say bad things, smile. Because you know when they say bad things, you should say thank you to all the people. Let me finish. You should say thank you to all the people who slander you. You know why? Yes. Because immediately your sins goes to them, and their good deeds comes to you. You don't understand. You should say thank you. You should say thank you. You don't have to, exactly. That's what happens, because God says, if you dared speak about my children, you took my place. I'm the one who judges. Shh. I'm the one who judges, and you dared take my place, then God opens the book of that person and looks at all of his sins and adds the person that he spoke about his sins to him. I told you that story, that a person came to heaven and he saw that he has good deeds that he didn't even do. He said, I don't know, I didn't do that. I don't even remember that. I don't recall that I did that. And they tell him in Bet Din Shamala, and they tell him over there, well, Ploni ben Ploni, that person spoke badly about you, so you received all his mitzvot. I know it's not yours, but you received his mitzvot. But then that person also sees that he has sins, averot, that is not his. So he says, but I didn't do those sins. And they tell him, yeah, but you spoke badly about that person. Yes, exactly. Once you understand how it works in this world, it's not, it's not logical. That's why it's not like our logic, what we see in this physical world, because this is not what counts. What counts is what we're going to have in the next world. Because I told you, this body is not immortal. This body goes back to the land, goes back to earth. But our soul is immortal. So that's why it's very important.
Can I say something? One of my rabbis, Elyashiv, he used to say like this: fix yourself and everybody will be fixed around you. And sometimes, like you said now, I was asking some question to him. How it's possible? I'm not harming nobody. I'm nice to everybody. And still I have to fix myself. 18, 19 years later, I understood exactly what he said. Like Iris said, when she comes and you feel that she is coming to harm you with her evil eye or something like this, no such thing. Smile to her. Say Dvar Torah, what you hear, what she's saying. And then she's going to be confused. She will not understand what's going on. And if you feel comfortable with me or with Iris, you have no correction with me in this life. Your correction is with her. If you're not going to fix this with her now, she's going to come in next life after you.
I'll explain to you.
Fix it and correct it.
Dear women,
you are not comfortable with.
when a person with bad energy comes towards you and wants to have a quarrel or wants you to feel bad, listen very carefully. When a rabbi says, I'm going to give you a blessing, you'll see that sometimes you feel that the blessing did not work. What happened? Why didn't it work? But the big rabbi gave me a blessing. What happened? Let me explain it. You have to be a container for that blessing. Do you understand? A good acceptor for that blessing. How? By purifying your soul. You need to really believe, and you need to do the good things and the good deeds and pray in order to be a container. What happens when a person comes to you and he wants to slander you in your face or mock you or la'aliv otcha or make you feel bad? So what happens? if you're a good container, you'll accept the bad energy. You'll say, okay, welcome, let me feel bad, welcome, let me feel, and what happens? He took all the bad energy that he wanted, he threw it on you. But if you are not an acceptor, you won't. You say, no, this container, this, my soul and my body, I won't accept those bad things. Instead of that, you'll say, this person cannot hurt me. I give judgment only to Hashem, not only to God. He can't help me. He's misken. He doesn't really know Torah. If he would have known, he wouldn't have done that. If you'll have this approach, no bad energy can come inside you. You will leave it outside. You can be angry for a minute, but then you'll say to yourself, God, how great you are. Look how many mitzvot you gave me right now. So you'll enjoy it. But let's continue. I won't finish today. I would like to continue and tell you, tomorrow, you know that today is Rosh Chodesh, and tomorrow is also Rosh Chodesh. And this Rosh Chodesh, the Hebrew month, is the month of Iyar. Dear women, Iyar is a big month, a great month. Listen very carefully. It's a month of healing. This month has the power of healing. It's Rashi Tevot of Ani Hashem Rofecha. I am God, your doctor. I'm the one who's going to heal you. This month, why? Because on this month, on the second month, you know, the first month is Nisan by the count of the Torah. The first one is Nisan, the second one is Iyar. On this month, it's part of the counting of the 49 days. So on this month, God gave the man to eat for the children of Israel to eat. What did the man do? There wasn't any psolet. You know, the children of Israel didn't have to go to the toilet. Why? Because all of the food was inside the body, and the body absorbed it. So it was inside the body. So it was a special food in order to make them wiser and that the soul could clean itself. And then on this month, they already also had the Be'erah shel Miriam, the well of Miriam. This is a well that is today it's also in the Kinneret, you know that, but we do not know where it shows. This is the well that if you drink from that well, you become wise. So the well of Miriam, it's in the Kinneret. Nobody knows where it pops up every time, but it says that it's in the Kinneret. But listen very carefully. The children of Israel in this month in Chodesh Iyar, because only on Sivan they received the Torah, God prepared their soul in order that they can accept the Torah. So He made them drink from Be'erah shel Miriam, from the well of Miriam, so they become wise and they will have the knowledge of the Torah. They will be prepared. Mentally and physically will be prepared. And He gave them the man, which was a spiritual food. Do you understand? And they became also healthy because they were slaves before, but it cured them. So this is Iyar Ani Hashem Rofecha, but it's more than that. Look, Aleph stands for Avraham, and Yud stands for Yitzchak, and another Yud for Yaakov, and Resh stands for Rachel, vegam Rivka. Look how beautiful. So it's also the protection of our forefathers and foremothers in Iyar. And I would like to tell you, dear women, that tomorrow morning when you say Musaf shel Rosh Chodesh, you remember in Shacharit, you say also Musaf shel Rosh Chodesh. When you say Musaf shel Rosh Chodesh, you come to the standing davening, Tfilat Shmona Esrei. You come to Tfilat Shmona Esrei. When you say Baruch Ata Hashem, you say Baruch Ata Hashem Mekadesh Yisrael v'Rashi Chodashim. Bless you, God, that blesses the children of Israel and Rashi Chodashim, the first day of the month. You have to concentrate on the right name of Hashem for this month. And the right name of Hashem is Yud. Okay. Yud, Kuf, Kuf, Vav. You remember that this is Heim. That's the right name that you have to concentrate. It will give you blessings. Tell your husbands, your sons, everybody that davens, that says Musaf shel Rosh Chodesh. Tomorrow morning. We said that this morning, but tomorrow morning is also Rosh Chodesh. So tomorrow. ברוך אתה השם מקדש ישראל וראשי חדשים, במוסף, מוסף של ראש חודש. Look at the תפילת 18. I will show you at the end of the lesson, בלי נדר, okay? I'll show it to you.
את אמרת 4 אמהות.
זה לא כל 4 פה. I told you the 4 fathers and 4 mothers. כן, only רבקה מהריש. הם מגנות עלינו בחודש הזה. נמצאות פה רחל ורבקה.
Every Friday, before Shabbat candles, I personally lighting the Nerot Neshamat Tzadikim that I'm close to. It makes sense to light for them whole month, like 4 weeks of this month, Chodesh Iyar, to light the candles for those Tzadikim.
It's enough to light one. מספיק פעם אחת. את יכולה להדליק גם לכולם, את יכולה גם לכולם, זה מספיק פעם אחת, כן. כן. Let's continue. I won't speak more about Chodesh. I wanted to tell you a few things. Dear women, I would like to tell you that we had a lot of miracles. We had a lot of miracles in the month of Iyar. First of all, I would like to tell you, Chaf Zayin Nisan, which is the 27th of Nisan, which was on this past Sunday. This past Sunday, Chaf Zayin Nisan, 27th of Nisan, was Yom HaShoah. Holocaust Day. Holocaust. The Holocaust Day was this past Sunday. I would like to tell you something about it. Wait. They're translating, but let's concentrate. Dear women, listen very carefully. God forbid, we do not want another Shoah. I would like to tell you something. You know, it says that now the percentage of antisemitism against the Israel is going up quickly. I would like to tell you it's going up quickly because of us. This means that we need to do tshuva quickly. I would like to tell you about the generation in Egypt. The generation in Egypt, the children of Israel that were in Egypt, after all of the Roshei Shvatim, the leaders of the tribes passed away, you remember that except for the Shevet Levi, they stopped circumcising themselves. And what did God do? First of all, He made the Egyptians hate them. But they did not understand what God is doing. They didn't they didn't turn the light on. So then the Egyptians wanted taxes from them. It went by stages before they slaved them. But still the children of Israel did not light the lamp. And then they slaved them. The same thing happens. The history just repeats itself. If it says that if a nation doesn't remember its past, it doesn't have a present and a future. Listen, this is a very strong moral thing. Don't blame anyone else except for us. Listen, it says in the Torah, that if we do whatever God wants us to do, and especially love each other, that we have unconditional love, nothing will happen to us. ויראו כל עמי הארץ כי שם השם נקרא עליך ויראו ממך, which means all of the nations will see that the name of God is above you and they will be afraid of you. How will they see that? I told you already that we have 2 names above our head. Each Jewish person has 2 names above his head. 2 names of Hashem. One is Yud Kuf Vav Kuf 26 and the other one is Elokim. The Goyim have only 1 name, Elokim. Only the name of judgment, which Elokim in Gematria, in numerical value, is Ateva, is nature. The same thing. If we do not remember that we are the children of Israel and we are under the protection of God and we have to listen to God, we were chosen to be His firstborns, chosen to be example morally and to take the Torah and this insights and to tell the whole world that God is the only God, Echad v'Yachid, there's no one else. He created the world. He is the one that pushes everything with us. If you see a leaf fall and then his friend falls, a few seconds after that, it's from God. God decided that this leaf is going to fall first and the other one will fall after him. If you see yourself, that you see like a cake on the table and you chose a piece, you think, it's only coincidence, I just chose. It's not a coincidence. Everything is from Hashem. You chose this because this is the piece that you should have eaten. This is exactly what your body needs now. This is the peace, and you have to give a blessing over it. Which means we need to remember, if we see that there's hatred, and there are the Palestinians, and all the Arab nations coming up on us, and everybody goes against us, it's because we do not remember who brought us to this world, who is the responsible for all of this vineyard. If we remember that, and we love each other, and we won't have false hatred, we won't be jealous of each other. We'll be happy for each other. We'll rejoice for each other. And we'll be sad when something bad happens to us, to our friends. We will sit with our friend and try to help him. God will help us. Nobody can touch us. It's the same example that I gave you before. Nobody can touch us. No one. Look, for example, I told you this is Yom HaShoah. It was on the 27th of Nisan. It was last Sunday. But listen, let's continue and look at all the things that we have. On Dalet Iyar, the 4th of Iyar, we have Yom HaZikaron Lechalalei Tzva Ma'arachot Yisrael, which means the soldiers, the Yom HaZikaron, for the soldiers. On Iyar, it's very weird that God gave us the country of Israel on Iyar, on this month. On this month. You see, we can't take anything. We just take what God gives us. If God decided not to bring us to the land of Israel, we won't be there. Do you understand that? Hakol bidei shamayim milvad yirat shamayim. Everything is in the hand of God. Except the fear of God and the loving of God that we need to teach ourselves, to remind ourselves how to do that. Because our soul always loves Him. Wait. So we know that Iyar is the creation of the land of the Medinat Israel. I would like to tell you something. We would have not won the war, Milchemet Atzmaut, the war of independence, if God wouldn't made miracles for us. Look at ourselves until now. Look at every war that we had, everything that happened to us. Look at the missiles that came from Iraq to Israel. You know what could have happened if God did not protect us? If this is not a miracle, I don't know what miracle is. God is just protecting us every step of the way. You know what? Why? Because He has patience for us to do tshuva. He says, my children, I love them. They will do tshuva. I think about God when your children don't listen to you and they upset you. How much are you upset? And how you take it to your heart. You eat yourself. Look at God. We are all His children. I think about how much sorrow He has. And He says, I'm giving you the quality of breathing every morning when you wake up. And what do you do with what I give you? You go and do bad things instead of taking your legs and going and doing a good thing. Or you speak badly instead of, you know that the mouth and tongue are very holy. They are supposed to do holy things. God says, it says in the Psalms of King David, and it says, God says, look, I tried to do my best, says God. I took the tongue and I tied it over here so it can't run away and do whatever it wants. So it's tied like a dog, like a leash of a dog. Yes, and then I took bones, the teeth, and I closed so you won't do whatever you want. And then I took the flesh, Sfatayim, the lips, and I made another block for the tongue. But still, you still do whatever you want. So I would like to tell you, dear women, it all depends on us. Don't have any pride. Remember, look what happened in the Shoah. I'll give you a story about a rabbi that gave the story. He was, every time that he was called to a brit, because the beginning of Parashat Tazria starts with a circumcision. And every time that he went to a brit to be a sandak, he used to tell the story. And the rabbi is the rabbi of Mibalazov. It's a Russian rabbi, Mibalazov. And he used to tell the story. He was in the camps. And in the camps, he said that once they took him to a hard labor. And they took him to the place at which they burned the bodies, burned people. And he said, I was working over there. I had to chop wood, and I had to do many things with wood that they gave him to do. So the rabbi was standing there, and then he heard the Gestapo say, well, in a few hours, we're going to take the babies that we have here, and all of them we're going to throw to the oven. So he heard that, and he heard the shouts. There were shouts of the babies and the mothers that the babies were taken from them, and they were burned in the ovens. a young woman came to him and she had a package in her hand. And she asked the rabbi, she said, Rabbi, can you give me your knife? Yeah. So the rabbi said, he was continuing, he was afraid that the Gestapo person will hit him or kill him. He was talking while he was working, and he said, dear woman, please don't do anything to yourself. You know, it's a big sin to take your own soul. Don't do that to yourself. He was preaching to her and telling her not to do that. The Gestapo person saw that. He came to him and he shouted and he hit him and he said, what are you talking about? Why are you speaking with her? So he said she just wanted a knife. So he asked the woman, the Gestapo man asked her, the woman, and she said, yes, I would like to have a knife. And he thought, the Gestapo person, he said, wow, she wants to have a knife, maybe to kill herself and the baby that she has in the package. So he said, I never saw a Jewish woman kill herself and a baby. I would like to see that. So he gave her a knife. You know what happened? She took the baby, she opened his chitulim, and she circumcised him. And the Gestapo man, he was astonished. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. He thought that she's going to kill herself and the baby. So he says, what are you doing? She said, this is the 8th day of my son, and I have, at least before he dies, I want him to be Jewish. And a few hours later, she was thrown to the kivshanim, to the ovens with her son in it. I would like to tell you, dear women, everything that happens to us, first of all, don't go anywhere. It happens because of us. We are all responsible for each other. If we sin, the whole Jewish people, it comes on all of us. Not only on all of us, but to the whole world it comes. If you see all the problems with nature now, tsunamis, earthquakes, everything happens. Now you'll say that this can't be because of the children of Israel. Listen very carefully, because the whole world was created so that the children of Israel will study Torah and spread it around. Will spread the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of Hashem, to the whole world. And instead of doing that, Bezrat Hashem, we will do that. We forget sometimes. So God, Bezrat Hashem, will have mercy on us. He has a lot of mercy on us. And we need to remember that we are His children, and this is our tafkid. This is the duty that we have in this world. We come only to a certain time in this world. We are guests in this world. And we leave the world. Don't let the Metzora work on us, and don't do the mitzvot and things. Oh, this is hard for me. Nothing is hard. We are prepared for that. It's only the bad spirit that makes us feel that it's hard. Don't be sad. Be happy. God gave us life. Every day that we wake up, He gave us life. Think in the morning, what kind of mitzvah I can do today, just to merit myself and my children and the whole world with it. You understand? Try to be happy. You know, nobody will bother us if we'll remember that HaKadosh Baruch Hu He is the owner of all this vineyard. And we are His first, we are the children of a king. You understand the meaning of that? You're princesses. We are the children of the king. I can't see a prince or a princess that will leave this and go and be a slave. We are the children of the king. It's a big merit, dear women. And with those words, I would like to bless all of you that שיגיע משיח במהרה בימינו אמן. אליהו נביא זכור לטוב אמן. לעולם ייפרד אדם מחברו בדבר הלכה יחיד ורבים הלכה כרבים. Next week we'll speak about what I wanted to continue in this lesson. Amen. יישר כוח. Tell everybody to come. It's a big mitzvah.
ברכת אחרונה בבקשה.